Welcome to the HHWShow podcast. It is OV1, Hector V, and my boy. I think he's back, and that is Frank C in the house. You know, got some calls, getting some intel, what's going on in the WWE. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He eating his way over there.
Mhm.
But once again, welcome everyone. Like I said, we're your host. And as always, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to visit our website at realtalkplaybook.com for all the latest podcasts, blogs, and wrestling coverage. We've got a lot to discuss because Night of Champions is right around the corner, and the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments are about to crown new royalty. That's right. So let's start with the biggest question, and that is who will become the King and Queen of the Ring? And we'll go right through because again, June 27th, that's a week from Saturday, is the event, right? And it's going to happen at the Kingdom Arena at Riyadh. And the current world champions right now on the men's side is Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. And on the women's side of the house, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. But Liv Morgan is in the tournament. So
Yeah.
we've never seen a champion being crowned queen. That is pretty
Interesting.
interesting, right? Should we see history in the making? Um and if you look at the brackets here, Io Sky defeated Raquel Rodriguez to advance to the championship. Liv Morgan will have to take on Charlotte Flair, who she claims herself as the queen, right? And the winner between Morgan and Flair will go on against Io Sky at Night of Champions. So what's y'all take on this tournament so far?
Hmm. Frank, you want to take this one? Because I got my idea about this one right here. Okay, he's muted. We gotcha.
Oh boy,
He's
what?
speechless.
He's speechless.
I am speechless
Mm.
because this one's like when you think you know it, you don't. Because you got Io Sky on one side. We've seen her go against Flair. I believe she's also gone against Morgan. And when you have Flair and Morgan going against each other, what does this mean for this division, right? It's for this bracket. If Flair beats Morgan, obviously Flair goes against Sky, but does that also make her number one contender to go against Morgan for the title?
You know,
I think
WWE has a history of if you beat me, then you get a title match, right? Which I
Correct.
hate the most. I really do. And I feel you. I believe that could be a great scenario.
but then watch this, right? Let's do this. Let's say Morgan beats Flair. She goes against Io Sky. Io Sky wins. Does that make Io Sky now the number one contender for Morgan and Ripley?
Well, the winner is the number one contender for either title.
All right. So now, what title is she going to go after?
Well, she's technically on Raw, so she will go after Liv Morgan. And if you already beat Liv Morgan, might as well beat her again.
I think, but I think Flair is going to win it all and end up going against Rhea Ripley.
I
For
don't
some
think
reason.
so.
I hope not, because I don't want to see that. But it's starting to look like you're going to have a Raw King. All right. So why not have a SmackDown Queen?
I agree with Frank, but not for the same reasons.
Okay.
I feel like, I know last week I did say Sky versus Morgan, but I'm starting to understand now Rhea Ripley's injured.
Yep.
So they think this is going to give Flair a clear path at it. And knowing that the history that them two has had before, this could say, look, drop the title to Flair and you go ahead and get better rehab and then come back. Because I don't think they're going to just strip Rhea Ripley of that title because of her injury, because of what she is, who she is, and what she brings to the SmackDown brand.
Right.
I think Flair comes out victorious here, and this could just be an argument for Raw if Sky deserves a title shot against Morgan. But I think Flair goes on to beat Morgan and beat Sky, and I think Flair becomes the queen of the ring. Yeah,
I agree with you there. I do believe that Charlotte Flair is going to win this tournament. Maybe I got a feeling that finally she's going to be due because one, we always call her the queen, right?
yeah,
So why not have a crown? And this is her second time in the Queen of the Ring tournament that she's involved in, and the first one wasn't so pretty. So on this one, I think is more of acknowledgement, and I hate to say it, man, but she's gonna be close to becoming a 15-time world champion, which
yeah,
we already know how that developed in a quick hurry, right?
yeah,
But yeah, and sadly, Io Sky is gonna take the same ride as Oscar. Because you remember when Oscar faced Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, and Charlotte Flair ended up winning just
hmm
the streak. I think there's no respect for Charlotte Flair against Japanese wrestlers. She's undefeated. You know what I mean? So yeah, but for Liv Morgan, something more has to brew. Like, will who else will back up Charlotte Flair in this match? And especially it's on SmackDown. And so we'll find out on Friday who will win in advance to face Io Sky. Because Morgan always has something in her sleeves. She's
yeah.
a very sneaky woman. So ah,
I would
I'm
think
still going
Bliss.
with Charlotte Flair.
I think Bliss can be there to help her just in case
Hmm.
Judgment Day gets interfering here.
Right.
I don't think Bliss has any jealousy towards Flair if Flair was to win. So
All
because
right.
Bliss, in her fairness, she's a multi-champion herself. So you know, nobody's gonna be like Charlotte Flair. So,
Right.
but Bliss got her fair share of titles. So yeah, I mean, I think Flair has a clear path here because now I start looking at it from a different angle. Judgment Day, I think, can go a different route with a storyline somewhere where, we keep talking about one of them or both of them turning against Liv Morgan or whatever. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
I like this. Well, I do like the scenario of Charlotte Flair winning, right? Because if she or when she defeats Rhea Ripley, let's suppose she chooses her, she has another rivalry coming up. Okay, so the story of her for any champion between Charlotte Flair or Rhea Ripley is going to be never ending because of the faction that SmackDown has. I think the women's side of the house is pretty much stacked up with new and fresh storylines
hmm
for either one of them. So I'm liking it. On the other side, WWE is flirting with Liv Morgan to see the relationship between her and Roxanne Perez or even with Raquel Rodriguez. I
yeah,
mean, did you notice that no one really came in the aid of Rodriguez?
yeah. Nobody. She was by
Nobody.
herself.
Right. Now, is that out of respect because that's how she likes it or what? I don't know. But it's
Yeah, but
it's it's really confusing to see which way the judgment day is going.
Mm.
did you also notice that when Morgan had, no, I'm sorry, Perez had a match this week with Flair that Rodriguez was nowhere around.
Correct.
So there's something brewing there.
Mm.
Who on who against who, don't know. But there's something going on there.
But lately when Rodriguez has been having those one-on-one matches with no outside interference, the crowd has been getting a good pop. She's getting a good pop from the crowd.
Mm.
Like she can handle, like she's shown that she can handle herself as a heel. So how much more she's gonna be able to do it as a face? She's done it before. We've seen that.
Right.
So yeah,
The
she don't
question
need.
is the real question is it's Raquel Rodriguez and will be if she does become babyface, will Roxanne join her or will she stay with Liv Morgan?
I don't
What's
think
your
she'll stay
take?
with Liv Morgan. I don't think she's gonna join her, but I don't think she's gonna stay too long with Morgan.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I think if Perez leaves after Rodriguez, then I think you're going to see the dismantlement of the Judgment Day. I mean, it's just a, a matter of time before the Judgment Day doesn't even exist anymore. Seriously.
Wow. I Sad to say, I do believe that, but like I said, the big storyline is if everyone was to win, it should be on SmackDown because you have Jay Cargill, and then you still got fresh new superstars from NXT that went to the main roster. And so I feel like that right there probably best for business, right? Um, but it'd be interesting to see how everything will play out on Friday. Let's go ahead and move on to the men's side of the house because Obafemi scored perhaps the big, I won't say a biggest victory, probably the fastest victory of the tournament because it was a main event that shouldn't even be a main event, in my opinion. But he defeated Dominic Mysterio. Oba continues to look like a superb, most powerful superstar right now. And he awaits the winner between Javon Evans and Jay Uso. So, who will Obafemi face for at Night of Champions?
I've been saying it. It's going to be Jey Uso.
Frank's right. I mean, look, the way this wing is playing out here, I mean, Frank has been on point here, and we're not giving him his flowers here. He deserves it.
I ain't giving him no flowers. What you talking about?
It makes no sense in whatsoever with Javon Evans against Obafemi because Oba will destroy him. I'm sorry. I know
it will destroy anybody.
I know they've had their good match at NXT, but this is the big times. And look, did Femi give us an Easter egg when he said that Brock, I'm surprised you didn't come out? You know, did something was something supposed to happen that didn't happen? Because I thought Dominic was going to pull out a victory because of Brock. But now that he's in the finals,
that was my assumption, right? That was my prediction.
I think that was all of our assumptions.
Yeah. So now you're talking about, and you were right, Obi, when you was mentioning this earlier off the show that Femi. Well, I think we all know Femi is supposed to be the heavy favorite, but now with Brock Lesnar involved in this third match, whenever, it doesn't seem like Femi is the favorite. And I think that's why this leads to Frank saying that, Jay's going to win this. You know, and then with the Tribal Chief saying he has a plan, I mean, this does not seem to add up for Femi to win this thing.
Look, what if go ahead, Frank.
Look, this could go either way, right? This could either be the setup between Brock and Femi for SummerSlam, okay? Or it could be a setup for Femi and Roman Reigns later on down the line. All right, because remember, they have already had, some type of words where like, yeah, I'm coming after you, blah, 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 blah. And Roman's like, hey, has agreed to it in a sense. So this could mean, all right, let's disregard Evans at this point, right? It's Uso against Femi. Who's to say that Roman Reigns is not going to get involved and help out Jey Uso? And then that's going to get Femi pissed off. And that's might go ahead and give us something further down the line. First, Femi has to deal with Brock Lesnar. And then he's going to deal with Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns gets involved. If it goes that way. There's different avenues we could go here.
It makes sense. And then leave Jey Uso on SmackDown to deal with, with Cody Rhodes and maybe Gunther in the mix of all this. Maybe something brewed there. But he's right. I mean, Femi could go after Brock at SummerSlam and then go after Roman Reigns after that. Because I think we all know he's going to squash Brock if he faces him at SummerSlam.
I think we missed the Brock Lesnar. I don't think he's going to show up, to be honest with you. I know it's in Minnesota, but if we don't see him now, I don't think we're going to see him at all. Why not wait till the next WrestleMania? I think that would be a bigger pop.
So you know what I mean? So you don't think Brock is showing up at SummerSlam in Minnesota?
I still feel like something should have given last Monday, and it didn't happen. And now that I'm investing in this storyline, even Obafemi was like, I'm surprised, right? If you're gonna get Obafemi to the finals, let him go all the way, because Brock Lesnar is the former King of the Ring tournament too. Why not just build that resume and match up of Brock Lesnar? So let's do compare and contrast.
But does Oba really need to measure up?
But he's not going after any titles. He might as well start off being the king. And now you'll have him go against Roman Reigns, because after he defeated Brock Lesnar, his very first promo was targeted to Roman Reigns. So Why stop there?
Or could it be Brock that's gonna disrupt that match and cause Femi to lose at SummerSlam to Roman Reigns?
Possibility, but I'm not sold. I think it's too late. And if it does, I mean, again,
It just
why would Brock Lesnar get involved with Oba Femi? I mean, and help out possibly like Frank's saying, Jay Uso wins. I rather if the case, if Javon Evans, I'll be more persuaded that Brock Lesnar will interfere. Because like you said, Hector, Oba Femi versus Javon Evans, there's no way Oba Femi is going to lose to Evans,
there's
right?
no way, no.
But with Uso, I don't. Brock Lesnar has issues with the bloodline. You know what I mean?
I get that, but he has more problems with Femi right now to try to because the score is even than worrying about. I don't think it's so much of helping the bloodline, but it's to get at Femi just to poke the bear. You know,
Yeah.
that's my thing. So I think Femi's in a checkmate situation with the bloodline either way. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Either he's going to beat Javon Evans and gets there and lose to Roman, or he's going to lose to Jey Uso. Something like somewhere down the line, Femi is losing to the bloodline, and it's not going to be good for him, and he's going to just be a ticking time bomb. I mean, because I'm sorry, Roman is not losing that title anytime soon, not even to
Well,
over Femi.
Well, Jey Uso brings experience and main event credibility, right? While Javon Evans represents the future of the WWE.
Mhm.
Either way, Oba Femi has become one of the most intriguing competitors in the tournament. His combination of size, athleticism, and confidence makes him a legitimate threat to win it all. All
Yeah.
right. And like I said, I just feel like it's too late to bring Brock Lesnar in there unless Evans wins Friday. But if the Jey Uso wins, then we got more problems installed here, right? Because it's that bloodline. But then speaking about the bloodline and the problems, let's talk about LA Knight with his issues with Jey Uso. Okay. Oh, I'm skipping here real quick. Oh no, I don't have the slides up yet. But Jey Uso, right? Supposedly got confronted by LA Knight. Not supposed, it just happened. And LA Knight has been sticking his nose where he don't belong, getting into family business. And that's a big problem. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, right? LA Knight needs to stay away from family business. Jey Uso's told him, Jimmy told him, and then all of a sudden now Roman Reigns is in his head saying, yo, since when do we allow people to talk about our family? You know, why this, why that? And because of that, right, and we can see it right here, there's the confrontation, right? And LA Knight, being the smart ass that he is, he wasn't even thinking straight because he's thinking everybody, the whole bloodline, no matter what family you are, is against LA Knight, which is not true.
Mm-hmm.
He's making it that way.
He's creating a problem that wasn't even the problem from the get-go. And guess what you get? This is what you get right there.
Tonga death threat.
Yep. That's what you get. So my question is to y'all. It's LA Knight. I mean, let's keep it real. Let's really dissect LA Knight, man. What's wrong with the dude?
He may be bitter. He may be jealous. I mean,
He's upset that he's not the star that he wants to be. So he's trying to make himself a star, by picking feuds, by going against the top dogs, by going against the top fashion,
Mm-hmm.
Just to put himself out there. And what he doesn't realize is that he's going to keep on getting his ass kicked. Because why? Because he's messing with the wrong people.
Very.
FAFO.
I don't know how many times, even when he first announced King of the Ring, and he noticed that Jey Uso was in the tournament, well, first of all, he made a prediction that was true. Someone was going to get involved, right? But again, he should just kept his mouth shut and just go with the flow. And even right there and then on Monday Night Raw, which by the way, he is on SmackDown, right?
I
LA.
don't even know anymore.
LA Knight is on SmackDown,
I think he's more SmackDown than Raw. Yeah.
right? So I stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. You went to somebody else's house and got your ass whooped. That's pretty much what happened there.
Yeah, he has. I don't know why. Stay out of people's business. The Bloodline's going to do what they want to do. Solo's going to do what he wants to do. Roman's going to do what he wants to do. But you keep poking at both sides, you're going to find yourself at the wrong end of the stick every single time. He has no business trying to convince anybody otherwise. It's going to happen the way it happens. So stay out of it. I mean, you're never going to win this battle, especially by yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, the Solo's guys, MFT don't like him, the Bloodline don't like him. Dude, you're creating a war that you cannot finish. I'm sorry, you can't even win the battle. I mean, dude, it's one thing to speak your mind, but then you continue going at it every single week. It's not making any sense here.
Correct.
You're not trying to be a friend to Jey Uso, and giving him good advice or words of wisdom or whatever. He's just going about it the wrong way. And
when you was a team, now you're not a team. Even if I was Jey Uso or even Jimmy, I'll be frustrated. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like if you got problems with Roman Reigns, then you got problems with Roman Reigns, but you can't drag the whole family, right?
Yeah.
So how often do we see people involve themselves in situations that have nothing to do with them, right?
All the time. All the time.
Whether it's the workplace drama, family disagreements, neighborhood conflicts, or social media arguments, which is a big one, right? There are always individuals who cannot stay in their lane. Instead of focusing on their own goals and responsibilities, they become distracted by everyone else's business. And I go, you're right. It don't matter what workplace, it don't matter what block you in. There's always that individual. Always, always, always. Man, can't stand them. But the results are all the same. They create unnecessary enemies, add stress to their lives, and often become part of the problem instead of a solution. So for LA Knight, his desire to get involved may come from confidence and a sense of justice, but eventually, constantly inserting himself into other people's confidence catches up to you. And sure enough, it caught up to LA Knight. So the question is whether or not LA Knight is helping the situation or simply making himself a target. And after Monday Night Raw, we already know he became a target.
He's a target.
That's all it is. I mean, because my thing is, unless somebody comes to you and asks for your opinion, asks for your advice, don't put your bit. I mean, you may not like what's going on. I mean, you're not the only one. LA Knight is not the only one that sees what's going on, and a lot of people will stand by him and say we don't agree with it. But at the same time, we don't need to involve ourselves where it doesn't need to be. You're right. Family business, family business. I mean, it is what it is. Worry about your self and trying to get to the top and try to become world champion. But you're not going to become world champion at this rate the way you're going.
The favorite part is he trying to give advice, but he don't take advice for himself.
No.
But but now watch this though. And we could even put this into real life, right? How many people give advice that they don't follow themselves?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah. I think we've all been there before. I think we all could look at the mirror and say at one time or another, you might have said one thing and then you did the opposite. It happens. Right?
Hey, listen, I give people advice all the time. I tell them, hey, don't argue with your wife. Just say okay and just quiet. And it's going to be fine. But you know what? I turn around and I start arguing with mine. So hey, go figure. I don't take my own advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. We've all heard that saying before.
Absolutely.
How about it's like you just want to turn around to LA Knight? How about you listen to your own advice? It's like come on.
For real. I'm loving it.
He's on that McDonald's for you. All right, I got it.
Yeah. Look, as the Night of Champions approaches, we'll find out who becomes the king and queen of the ring, who earns the future championship opportunities, whether it's I don't know, Jey Uso, Obafemi, or Javon Evans. On the other side, we don't know. Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair, either one versus Io Sky. Is gonna bottom line is we'll get those results next week when we make our prediction show as to who will become the king and queen of the tournament. Also, let us know your predictions in the comments here, and we'll definitely share it next week. Who wins the king of the ring? Who wins the queen? And is LA Knight done? Was he done? Was he manhandled, or will he come back on Friday? Mm, there's a open path being created for him, or maybe he might have a schedule match at Night of Champions. We got one match that's official besides the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, and that is the only Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker in a steel cage match. That is definitely phenomenal right there because, man, if anything, as of right now, I'm kind of leaning on Seth Rollins on this. I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of liking this match where it may continue all the way to SummerSlam.
It could be, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, Braun Breaker needs something to elevate him more of a superstar, and who else to do that than Seth Rollins? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
okay.
but
I'm okay with
how many times are we going to see this match? How many times are we seeing Seth
Well, we only
Rollins?
seen one official match. The rest is Seth Rollins getting speared all the time.
or Braun Breaker being the first one to be eliminated in the Royal Rumble, and
Yeah.
and I'm holding the record for that. So yeah, we see something like that. So,
You know what though? Honestly, out of all superstars, I would never imagine it would be him.
for real, that fast, bruh.
All but famous said,
Bye.
Bye bye, bye bye.
yo, and now see you brought up some old stuff right there because
I know.
I
Hey,
remember
I'm okay
Hector
with
say I got Braun Breaker winning the Royal Rumble. And he's the first one to get
it. Yeah,
eliminated.
first
I
one of them.
laughed. I had just finished telling my son, yo, Hector picked him, right? Uh-oh, uh-oh. And all of a sudden he get eliminated. We both looked at each other and we started laughing. I was like, man, Hector must be pissed over there. I'm glad I didn't watch it with you.
I couldn't even get mad. I was just so stunned. I'm like, are we serious right now? I'm gonna call him Bye Bye Breaker now. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Bye-bye breaker.
Like, dude, you ain't Braun. You're a Bye Bye Breaker, man. Like,
Oh, man.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see how many more matches. Because listen, I think we should at least have 5 or 6 matches, man, for this premium live event. And I'm just surprised only one official booking. So technically, there's 3 matches. Let's see how many more will come in.
Yeah.
As we get through for by the time we have our predictions. But once again, you're tuning into the HHW Show podcast, the HHW Show, the hard hitting wrestling show. Excuse me, I'm stumbling over here, but that's all right. So tune in next week, next Thursday, as we go ahead and do our prediction for the premium live event. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until then, gotta love some wrestling, baby.
Yeah.